This video is sponsored by Ikigai Film Lab.
That was the first shot with my new film camera, the Nikon FA. So you might be wondering why I have bought another film camera off the back of my camera collection video that was pretty insane. But I promise you, I have very good reason for buying this Nikon FA. So come for a walk with me and I'll tell you all about it. So the thing I'm most excited about is the flash. So I'm gonna turn it on and wait for the red light and then grab this shot here. Right. Gotta remember to keep putting this out too. Not used to that. Did it go off? Fun. I feel like a reporter, like Spider-Man before he was Spider-Man. So obviously I bought the Nikon FA for its features, but before we get into that, the main reason I bought it is because I'm doing more and more commercial work with my Rebel G, my Nikon F100, cameras that are newer, modern, and the experience is more like shooting digital. They're plastic to handle and they're not the most inspiring. The reason I choose those is because the hit rate is really high and obviously I'm being paid to shoot. So it's just a different experience and I love the results from those cameras, but they've become like work cameras. So I find it hard to pick them up and feel inspired to go and do personal work. I am just starting a very exciting personal project. So I wanted a new camera to kind of just have a clean slate. And I'm gonna be using the Nikon FA as my personal project camera. This is just gonna be for personal work and I'm really excited about that. Having that delineation between the two, I think has become quite important as I've gotten busier as a working paid photographer. It's not something that I thought would be a problem, but it's definitely become just a separation that I need. So I'm shooting in Surfers Paradise, which is where my new studio is, and that kind of is what my project is to do with, but I'll show you the studio later on in the video and talk more about the project then. But let's keep shooting this camera and then I can tell you more reasons why I chose and love the Nikon FA. Future Lucy Lumen here, just popping in to say a couple of things about the Nikon FA. I was worried that there would be light leaks, and as you can see from some of the photos, this camera does. It looks like it's coming in from the door hinge and it's not super bad, but it's definitely not something that I want in my photos if they're gonna be in an exhibition. So my wonderful partner Lux has replaced the seals with some fresh foam, so hopefully this will not be happening in future rolls. There's still more video to go,
more photo walk and photos for you to see, so stick around for that. I'm also going to give you a studio tour of my brand new studio towards the end of the video as well. While we're time traveling here, I thought I would just give a couple of quick notes about the Nikon FA. So I'm really loving the photos. I think that the flash is giving that grungy, punchy look that I really, really like. Everything else seems to be working fine, and in terms of the photos, I think that this is a great camera for me and for this project. The day that I shot these photos was kind of that annoying sort of like hazy light, which has made some of the photos look kind of like hazy and just dull for me. I'm excited to put more rolls through this on like an Ectar day, a very sunny day, so that I can get like the blue sky and the punch and the contrast. There was a couple of photos in particular where they were like backlit behind buildings, probably not the photo that I should have taken, but I just tend to do that and think, okay, I'm sure it'll work out. And I turned the flash on a lot of shots to try and compensate, but I think the scene was too big for the flash to really have done anything for the overall scene. So in terms of like hit rate with bangers, this wasn't like a banger roll. We didn't quite finish the roll on this day, so we used it for some client work, a shoe brand from Germany called C Double. We went out and about and shot on a different day. Lux just took some photos of me in the shoes, and I think it's always good to get that kind of diversity in a roll first time on a camera, because, you know, it's interesting to see it being used in that context as well. I'm also really happy that the flash TTL function is working fine on this camera. I'm really happy with the results. This is one of the main reasons I chose this camera, because I want to be able to use flash. And I think that this is something that's huge for me as an artist. And I've been having a lot of artist accomplishments and opportunities lately, which is really cool. I have a lot of thoughts on that I'll do another video on soon. Something I talk about a lot on the channel is the power of putting yourself out there as an artist. A lot of us don't do this enough, and I think that consistently applying to things, submitting to things, and making my work and myself known has really paid off for me this year. I have an image hanging in a major gallery on the Gold Coast, which is such a wild feeling. I got to go to the open night of this exhibition, and being featured alongside so many accomplished artists is really boosting my profile as an artist and a photographer. A huge part of my success as an artist and kind of the story arc of how everything has grown really organically for me is definitely my film lab, Ikigai. Having my work in local exhibitions and magazines and, you know, local shows, offering prints, all of those things require a dedicated team with a lot of expertise in scanning film to produce a really high resolution scan that is going to look amazing on a wall or in someone's home or in print. This has become such an imperative part of my process as an artist, and as I continue through, it's really nice to know that I have them on my side and I can trust that the scans are going to always be amazing and they are taking such a great level of care with the photos. A lot of my work is very colorful and bold, and I'm really drawn to the color red, as I think film renders this so beautifully, and having the expertise and the knowledge of Ikigai handling that and getting really punchy scans that do my work justice is really important. It's important for everyone, but especially if you are exhibiting and that's a really strong part of your work that you want to come through for the viewer. All scans and all labs are not created equal, that's for sure. I know from using other labs previously, and I can really see the difference from using Ikigai. So if you're in Australia and you are looking for a new film lab, you should definitely try out Ikigai. They have a seamless order form and they have drop boxes all around. So go over and follow them on Instagram so you can see the content that we've been putting out together that's educational for the film community. It's so awesome to have amazing support from a film lab for a film photography channel. So thank you so much, Ikigai, and go and check them out. All right, let's get back to the photo walk, and I'm excited to show you guys my studio at the end of the video.
So my personal project will be documenting Surfers Paradise, which is a beachy place, as you can see, and the Gold Coast in general is known for its beaches and its like sunshine and its beautiful landscapes. And as privileged as it sounds, that's just not something that really interests me photographically. So my project is going to juxtapose that with the more like grittier, rundown side of the town of Surfers Paradise. So I was given a studio space as part of a local arts program, and I have this space for about 2.5 months, so it's not very long, and I am going to exhibit this personal project at the studio space at the end of my residency. So this will be my first solo exhibition, so I'm really excited, and it's going to be titled Another Day in Paradise, and it will be shot all on the same camera and then all in this general area. So I've got some nice constraints for the project, and I'm just really excited to embark on something like this because I haven't dedicated actual time to doing a personal project like this on film. Obviously I do my YouTube videos, but it's gonna be really fun to circle the same streets and places for 2.5 months and see what kind of work I get from dedicating my time to that. We obviously did a lot of research when we were looking for the right camera for this project and the right camera for my style of photography, as I'm not a super technical, like gear focused shooter. So I chose the Nikon FA because of the manual experience. There's like, you know, manual advance lever, manual focus, and just a manual experience overall that I'm not getting with my newer film cameras. I'm not a huge fan of shooting fully manual cameras though. It doesn't really suit my kind of quick fire style. So I wanted something that had the option of being a little bit more auto. So this has like PSMA features like shutter priority and aperture priority, things that are gonna make it a lot more like intuitive and easy for me to respond to a situation or grab a quick shot. And of course, I chose it for its matrix metering, which I have experienced in my newer Nikon cameras and I really love and appreciate. And then also because of the TTL capability with the flash. So I love using flash, but I normally opt for either a point and shoot or a Rebel G that has like a pop-up built-in flash because I can put it on auto and it's really easy. I do get a little bit worried about using things when it gets more complicated with flash and film. So this, having the TTL function, makes it really easy to use. It is adding some weight and it's not like the most compact setup, but because I'm just dedicating it to this project, I don't mind that. And I actually quite like that when I'm shooting personal work because, you know, it feels like I'm shooting film. Up until now, the camera that I've used mostly for personal work is my OM10, which I really love and have had great results with. I do have a flash for it, but I don't have much glass for my OM. So I thought it would make sense to get the Nikon FA as we have like a buttload of Nikon lenses and like flashes that will be compatible. So it kind of just made sense to invest in another Nikon body. I think with the matrix metering, that's going to be really handy because a lot of this work I am intending to print, and there's probably between 5 and 10 images that I'll be printing very large, or like as large as I can. So I just really want the, you know, exposure and the overall photo to be as best as it can be, and matrix metering is just awesome. Oh, take this too. So the only thing that's really annoying me is the advance lever, but that's kind of the same with any manual Nikon camera. I've heard other people complain about it as well. I think I need to hold it this way, which doesn't feel super sort of like my go-to way of holding it. Normally I'm like this, but it's denting my face and it's just annoying. Like I keep going to take a photo and then forgetting and having to do this. I think Caleb said the same thing in his video. Shout out to you, Caleb. And then the other thing I'm not loving, which is fine because I can change it, is this strap. It's very new and stiff and like dorky. I need like a cool strap. So yeah, I'll be changing that. Don't judge me. Everything looks better with flash. Everything looks better on film. Everything looks better with flash. Everything looks better close up. Should we move on? My Nikon Professional. I think my phone's ringing. shooting the roll in my Nikon FA, and I am excited to show you guys Lumen's studio. This is the space that I will be in until about early December, and where I will be holding my first solo exhibition. So let's have a look inside. It is still very much a work in progress, so don't judge me. I got this space as part of the Level Up program that's run by the Gold Coast City Council, and it's an initiative that connects creatives with spaces and the wider community to promote artists on the Gold Coast doing fun things. So I was very, very lucky to have this opportunity. I've tried to put my own stamp on the studio, but it's very much a work in progress as I'm trying to balance this with all of my client work and other commitments. But I have painted this wall here bright red, and this will be where my large prints for the exhibition will be hung. So to give you a little idea, like a print of mine that I've brought along, and just against the red, it just really pops. So I think it'll be a lot more interesting than having just a plain white wall. I'll bring you through to the next room over here of the studio. So as you can see, it's a pretty big space and it's all completely self-sufficient with like a kitchen and a fridge and everything, which is really great. So I'll come here and work on my computer, but mainly this spot is going to just be my station for kind of coming back to after a photo walk, curating work, and then putting together the exhibition. I have plans for in here, like a projection on this wall behind me, and then a bunch of work prints going from the floor right up to the ceiling on this wall for the exhibition. So I'm really excited for you guys to see this all unfold and document the whole thing on YouTube. Keep an eye out for the exhibition opening dates. I will be opening at the same time as the other artists in 3 of 3 studio. And if you are local to the Gold Coast and you want to drop by, you'd like to inquire about a print or anything else, please get in touch.